Hello, listeners. Welcome to Thrice, a horror movie podcast brought to you by Sinister Siblings, where we review a horror movie not once, not twice, but thrice, to see what comes from repeat viewings and share our thoughts with you, our dear listeners. My name's Adam. Joining me as always are Mark.
Good evening.
And Tracy.
Hello there.
And this episode, we're hiding the kitchen knives, because it's time for Bring Her Back Part 2.
Yes.
Speaking of bring her back, you should bring back that onion metaphor you used to do. That was
Yeah.
always fun.
Oh, we're peeling back the layers of this movie to see, like an onion, to see if it reveals anything new and juicy.
Ooh.
Yes.
Or whether it's a potato.
Or whether it's merely a potato.
Yes, indeed. Because it is, kitchen knives and kitchen things.
Yes, there's definitely a foodie element to things.
Yeah.
So if you're tuning into part 2, you probably do have an idea about how the podcast operates, but just as a quick recap, we do watch the movie 3 times. So the first time we do it, it's just our own view, which is based on the trailers that we've seen and our own impression of the film. Second time round, it's the impression we have informed by each other's discussions that we've had, and then the third time round, we do it potentially with some external input. So whether that's from you as the listener, whether that's from someone involved with the film, or whether that's from reviews and things that we've read as well. And just while we continue in the recap, Trace, did you want to... Oh, before I forget, there will be spoilers. So please be well aware if for some reason you're listening to part 2 and you haven't seen the film yet, please go watch the film. It's a good film. We'll wait.
Yes.
And now we're back.
Okay.
Trace, would you like to recap and just fill everyone in on what Bring Her Back is all about?
Yes, so a brief synopsis of Bring Her Back is that a brother and sister uncover a terrifying ritual at the secluded home of their new foster mother. Bring Her Back is from visionary Australian filmmaking duo Danny and Michael Philippou, directors of Talk to Me. So yeah, second viewing. What did we think, guys?
Hmm?
Adam, let's start with you.
Yes. New things spotted?
Hmm?
There was more subtle little visual and audio cues in this movie that I picked up second time round.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, at the very, very start, there's like heavy rain. And that's something that I probably didn't even register in the first viewing.
Okay.
But then you start to realize that rain is a very heavy symbol, I guess, in this movie, running through it. Rain and water. That and circles. There's a lot of circles in this movie. A lot of shots through tunnels. What else was there? The washing machine.
Yeah.
There's a few, like, just sort of little visual kind of Easter eggs or themes that run through the movie.
Like
that
cycles. I've read somewhere about it being quite cyclical.
Sure. Yeah. Because it ends up with her doing the ritual on the mirror and the window and stuff. Yeah. Circles in water.
I guess I'd look at the circles a little bit too, because there's the salt circle or whatever it is
Yes.
around the whole house.
Yes.
And that's an entrapment situation. So perhaps some of these other circles symbolic of a bit of a being trapped as well, perhaps.
Yeah. Or even like the circle of life as well. Grief is, death and grief are part of that.
Yeah. And I mean, none of these things
we're going deep
necessarily.
straight up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they necessarily even really mean anything, but it speaks to a consistent sort of vision that they had, Yeah.
Well, even there's a point where Laura's hand is all bloody and she's drawing the circle. Like, that's obviously a very deliberate choice for them to have that happen. So there's certainly, and I think maybe with that, she's almost looking to try and trap Ollie
absolutely.
in that circle that as she sees. Yeah.
Yeah, catch him back in there. Yeah.
Look, I'm with you on that, Adam. So last time around, I talked about how the film was quite dark and quite grim and was quite heavy. And oddly enough, watching it again and sort of knowing where it's going, it didn't feel as dark and heavy, which is a bit strange.
I felt the same way, actually.
Because I wouldn't have gone as far as to say I was critical last time around, but I sort of said, well, there wasn't really a happy ending. But it kind of felt like there was a little bit more to it, and a lot of it for me this time centered around Ollie.
Yes, me too. Me too.
Because I found for Ollie... So there's the bit where, and as we said, everyone, big spoilers, there's the bit where Laura cuts Dad's hair, and she gives the hair to Ollie. And then she does that because she wants Ollie to manifest as the dad and freak out poor Andy.
Yeah, poor Andy.
But then what Ollie does is he still takes that opportunity to say that Piper's going to die in the rain.
He had warned Andy.
He still takes that opportunity, even through everything that he's fighting against, to warn. And then later, there's a bit where he pretends to be Andy. And he's using Andy's voice to get Piper to come upstairs. And then Piper touches him. And she realises that he doesn't have curly hair.
Yeah.
And so Ollie yet again is trying to help Piper understand that Laura's been lying. And I thought, in amongst everything there, I thought, what a brave little fellow Connor/Ollie turned out to be.
Is that what that was? I thought at the end there when he's calling her up, I thought he wants to eat her.
No, I think he actually was trying to do that to help them.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. I mean, so Oliver in there is in communication with.
Yeah.
I mean, what's his name? Sorry, the Connor.
Connor
is in communication with the demon that's in.
Yeah, so he's fighting in there, and then obviously at the end he manages to exercise his own demon.
Yeah, that's what I took that as. Yeah.
Oh, he absolutely does. But I actually noticed, because I spent a lot more time like looking at him and listening to him as well, because he actually he surfaces a few times in the film, but he's quickly sort of pushed back and silenced. And so I then realised he, like we were just saying, is in there with the angel. He's just trapped. Because I sort of thought one of the big moments with Ollie was after the knife incident, and
more cracking.
And Andy's dragged him out, and so he started to, die basically when he's crossed the salt line, and she's freaking out and she's bringing him back in and she's cranking up the stereo to cover what he's saying, because he starts to become lucid. He starts to become
who are you? What are you?
Who are you? And he's this little boy.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Going, who are you? Why am I here? What's going on? And
so she's trying to make all those sigils on him too.
Yeah, and she's watching the video to try and figure out how can I get him back in the box so I can get the demon back. And she's just so cruel. Like she has her hand over his mouth, desperately trying to silence him. This little boy who's come back, and he's come back, and he's like, "Oh, what's going on?" And she's like, "Oh, no, I'll just put you back under." And so I was like, he's back there. And then, of course, at the end, like where because he says at one point as well, and I can't remember exactly where it was, he says, "Help me."
And he writes his name on the paper?
And he writes his name on the paper.
He says that when Andy takes him over the salt line.
Yeah.
He actually does say, "Help me."
Yeah, and then when Laura takes him in, she's like, "Oh, no, I'm not helping you. And we're going to cover this all up." And then, of course, at the end, absolutely. I think I really took it, even from the first viewing, at the end, he's willing to step over that salt line and die rather than continue on with the way he is. But honestly, that kid, that actor, he's amazing.
I saw an interview with him. He was just like a little boy.
Yeah,
and I was like, it's good to see him normal, because he's terrifying. He's terrifying.
He's utterly terrifying, but I just felt so sorry. I think so sorry for him, and just, the character, but also like as a little boy. Like, I'm really hoping, and I'm sure it was, that he was kind of cared for and nurtured throughout this filming, because it's full on just what he's having to wear and what he's having to do.
I imagine they make it a lot of fun.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Especially those directors.
Generally what you hear that with kid actors, that it's all little segments, and they often don't see what they're doing or what they might be reacting to. They're not part of it all.
You wonder, don't you? It's like, have you watched this movie?
I'm like, please don't watch this movie.
If I could just quickly bring up, though, you mentioned her cruelty there.
Yeah.
Sally Hawkins' character, Laura. So I just had a question for you guys. So in an interview, the Philippou brothers have stated the importance of being able to empathise with the characters, especially or particularly Laura, to set up the character drama before any of the horror craziness, and that none of the characters are outright villains. Thoughts? Do you feel that? She's pretty evil.
Well, she's not an outright villain. She's deep in grief or whatever, but it's also, I read a review by a person called Velvet Winter, who was reviewing on the ABC, and she had a really good take, because she was like, she reckons, Sally, who plays Laura, Sally Hawkins, should be up for like a third Oscar nomination for her role in this. But for all the bad things that she does, she's also a really pitiable figure.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm.
And she also mentions the uncomfortable reality that some parents only care about the well-being of their own biological child, which is 100% in this film. She doesn't give a crap about Andy or about Piper. She just wants her child back.
Or Ollie.
Yeah, or Ollie. Poor Ollie. Oh, my God.
She's particularly cruel to Andy, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
And I can't. And I think that really kind of almost masked my viewing of the first time.
you're such
Because
incensed.
I cannot stand gaslighting in any form.
Yes, you can.
No, shut up. And so it enraged me, and the fact that it was also against children and against vulnerable kids who are suffering and have just had their dad pass away, to commit such acts of cruelty towards these kids. And that was kind of like blinding me, I think, from quite a lot of the film, because I was just like,
It's a great performance, though.
good.
Oh, she's fantastic.
I don't actually know her. I don't feel foolish saying that.
Another thing that this girl in her review brought up, and of course it's true, Sally, she was in The Shape of Water, which
Sally
that was
Hawkins.
that film that I really
Oh,
liked.
she was the girl
the
that
love
took
interest
the
of the
fish man home.
amphibian. Yeah,
Right.
And then
It's a weird summary of that movie. The lady who took the fish man
She
home.
slept with the fish man, yeah.
but she was also the mum in the Paddington films. And so they said it's quite interesting when you have the two, like she played this, lovely, nurturing, warm character of a mum in Paddington to this character of a mum who's out to do whatever it takes.
So I think knowing when you get to watch it again and you know where the story goes, it's really interesting to see the different beats because she plays it so well.
Yeah.
There's so much subtlety in the way, the way she'd give a look or the flicker of a face muscle or something,
Yeah.
just enough that you'd be like, I
Yep.
know what you're thinking, or I know what you're planning, or
Yeah.
But
Storing that up.
The pitying element is definitely there from what you were saying, Adam. Like especially when she's talking to Wendy, when it sort of starts to unravel.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
And she's so desperate. She's
Yes.
like, please, it's working,
Yeah.
please. Just that pure desperation. And as a parent, I look at those sort of things and you go, it's not outside the realm that you would at least give a passing thought to probably doing anything to help your kid. How much time you'd spend on that thought is going to be different for each person. But everybody as a parent would probably have that thought, well, hang on, this is a crazy idea, but what if it worked? What if you could make your kid better? What if you could bring your kid back? You'd think about it. And so she really was I mean, ultimately, she was a villain. She did some horrible things.
Yeah.
And she ended up being a murderer.
Yeah.
And we understand that. But that's a horrible thing to think, murderer, but she wasn't trying to be a murderer, I guess.
Yeah.
She didn't want to kill Wendy. She didn't want to kill Andy. She kind of
No.
these things had to happen.
Yeah.
because
she was on a
so
runaway
desperate.
train.
Yeah.
Yeah. by
Yeah,
that
it
point.
was a runaway train's probably a good way to describe
Yeah,
it. She
yeah.
just it was all happening.
But what occurred to me though was she always intending? So as part of the ritual, from what I could see from looking at the tapes, because I looked at the tapes that she watches a lot more carefully this time,
Same.
and from what I could see, the angel, the person infected with the angel, obviously bites or sucks the life juice out of the dead person that you're wanting to reincarnate.
I think they call it a soul, dear.
Yeah, spits that into the next vessel, who then springs to life as the old dead person. Was she always planning?
Ta-da.
Yeah, was she always planning to kill the kid afterwards? Was she always planning to kill Connor Bird? She can't obviously, because once that's purged from him, it seemed to me on the video that person went back to being themselves.
Did they?
Yeah, that's how it sort of seemed to me, because the thing they were carrying's gone. So whether they're still infected with the angel virus, I don't know. But I just thought, was she always planning to kill the little boy?
I don't reckon she even thought about it.
Yeah.
I would
Because
suggest
what are
she
you going to
probably-
do with him after he's spat out your daughter into
Well,
another
yeah,
body?
You'd have to kill him, I guess.
Yeah.
Because especially since his face was all messed up.
Yeah, but if that hadn't happened though, if
Well,
everything had gone to plan, was it always her plan to kill him? Well, to get rid of him?
Oh, maybe. I mean, he seemed, in that moment of lucidity we talked about before, he seemed to have no idea what was going on. So potentially she chucks him in the bushes. He doesn't have a clue what's happening.
Yeah, maybe.
Hopefully.
If he's been blanked for 10 days and just hasn't known.
Maybe that was her hope.
Yeah.
Maybe that was her hope.
Well, but I think, like Mark was saying, she hadn't thought that far ahead, perhaps.
No. And I mean, I think it comes back to, I think we spoke a little bit about it last time about unanswered questions. So, and whether, the questions, they're not central to the story, and I don't think they don't take away from the story not having the answers, but it does make you, I'm just curious, like with this film, because you go, I mean, and I don't need to know, and it's not central to the story, but it's like, why did she choose Connor? Because it says in the news report he was taken from his bedroom at home. So it wasn't even like she picked him up like off the street.
Oh,
She
wow.
went for that kid. And you
Oh.
think, why? Why him?
Well,
Why that
probab-
age? Why a little boy?
Probably no real reason.
Yeah, I know, but it's a thing. It's
Is that the
infuriating.
scarier thing that it's a random kidnapping? I mean, my gut, and it's just a hunch thing, was because she'd had all those years in child protection.
Mm.
Ah,
Did she know him through that, perhaps?
and
She might
maybe-
know that this is a kid that no one's going to
A
miss,
vulnerable
or that
kid.
someone did end up missing.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
there's something like that. Because obviously the
Yeah.
missing poster
Yeah.
that Andy sees is in like the Department
Yeah,
of Human
yeah,
Services.
yeah.
Mm.
That's a good call.
So maybe he was connected to that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the unanswered question for me, yet again, which doesn't change anything,
Hmm.
is, where'd she get the tape?
Yeah.
In this day and age,
These are things
why,
that
is it a, why is it a
Why is it a
VHS?
video?
These are the
Yeah.
things that I don't want to know, though. Like,
Correct.
that's
don't
what I
think
love about it.
You could
know?
have another 30 seconds of exposition where
Yeah.
she opens a mysterious package and there's a tape inside from
Yeah.
Lithuania.
And a free set of
Yeah.
steak knives.
yeah,
That's
it
right.
doesn't.
Well, that's what, I just wanted to say, that's what these guys sort of deal in, I think, the Philippi brothers. This one and Talk to Me, they both do a great job of, like, tapping into the idea that there's forces out there in the world that we don't understand. And there's always been that, like the idea of superstition or witchcraft or, back in the day in the 1600s, people were afraid of like the woods or what was beyond the campfire. And these guys, they bring that into the now. She just has this tape. You don't really understand where it came from. It's like this relic of the internet or like these faces of death videos or something. You don't really know anything about it, but these things are out there. Things are happening in motion,
Well, what I noticed about the tape,
like the hand in Talk to Me.
yeah, what will be interesting to watch next time is, and I don't know if it would even go anywhere, but there's a URL that comes up on the tape at one point,
Oh.
Really?
and it's a whole heap of gobbledygook
Yeah,
.com
yeah,
or something.
Eastern European guy.
Yeah, it would be really interesting to see if that's absolutely nothing
Yeah.
or if it actually takes you somewhere.
Yeah, you go look up that code.
I don't want to look that up. I really, really don't.
The video is terrifying. It's like, it's super gritty and
Yeah. But I also, in terms of folklore and things like that, I actually did just a little bit of research around the concepts of the soul eater and transmigration as well, because the ritual itself, I think I've heard somewhere or read somewhere that this ritual isn't a real ritual that she's watching, and that, she tries to
it's not based on
invoke.
anything specific.
No.
Yeah.
But it seems to me, like from my really sketchy
It
top
sounds
level.
like it could be.
Yeah, sketchy top level research. It's almost like a blend between a soul eater and transmigration. So with the soul eater, that was normally, it's a witchcraft thing. And so a witch could suck the soul from somebody and then put it in, not in a reincarnation way, but put it into an animal or something. I don't know why I'd bother, but put it into an animal and then kill the animal. So that's kind of the concept of soul eater. There could be more to it than that, but that was one sort of definition that I found, that whole where the vessel or the angel, demon or witch sucks the dead person's, spirit or sucks the soul. But then transmigration is related to reincarnation, and that is about putting one soul into another being to reincarnate them. So I thought maybe it was like a crazy kind of blend of the two that they thought they would put into the ritual itself.
Hmm.
Well, it sounds plausible enough. If someone said to you, "Oh, once upon a time in Eastern Europe, they believed you could," because I think we talked about it last time too. That says there used to be some ancient tribes in that would believe you could gain strength from a warrior if you ate their heart and some of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Now, I've got a big question.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to preface this by saying, if your answer is "duh," I'll understand.
Uh-huh.
But this was something that just came to me, and I don't know if anyone else thought about it, or whether I'm way off base, or whether it's so obvious and I just missed it. Did Laura commit suicide at the end? Because right before she gets in the pool, she rips her wrist open
Yes.
and then gets in the pool.
Yeah.
But then there's not really any blood in the pool. But I'm
Yeah.
like, so is she just lying in the pool, or
No,
is she
she's dead. She
Yeah.
committed suicide to be with her daughter.
Yeah.
Because what is she says something as she does it, I can't remember the exact words she says, but it's something like, "It's over now," or "Let us go now," or there's something like that.
Mm.
It's a definite, right, the time has come. I'm going with you.
Mm.
Like, let's go together.
Yeah, because I thought, hang on, this looks like what's happening. Last time around, I didn't picture that.
Picture that.
And then
yeah.
I was like,
Okay.
oh, but wouldn't there be blood all over the place? And then I don't know, but
Well,
maybe
it just diffused in the
I don't
water.
know.
'cause
So I
the
was
water's
like,
so big.
did she do it or not? I don't
Mm.
know.
Yeah, but also I think in that pool scene, if I remember correctly, you know, it's the lovely shot of her and her daughter. Lovely, she says. Her and her dead daughter embracing in the water.
Like
I'm
an
pretty
eaten dead
sure
daughter.
there's a circle underneath. I'm pretty sure it's they're on top of a circle.
Yeah, more circles.
Yeah, more circles.
Even though the pool was oddly a triangle,
I know,
which
yeah.
which may not be a deliberate choice. It might have just been the pool
Being
they
the
could get.
location.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, okay, so that was a bit of an odd dirt thing. Everybody else already knew that.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, because
Okay.
she definitely says something to the effect of.
I just hadn't seen her, I guess,
Okay,
rip
now.
her arm open.
Yeah.
I must have missed that
yeah,
last time.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. No,
So
she
last time around, I think
reopened that
I
wound.
thought she just took the body and went and well, we'll go lie in the pool.
Yeah.
No.
Hmm.
No. One thing, though, I did hear at the beginning of the film was, because you know how their dad dies in the shower.
Mm.
As the emergency crews and stuff are taking him away and everything, you hear just a one-liner that they thought that the cancer had gone and that he was better.
Ah, because
Yeah.
that was one question. You were like, I didn't think anything mysterious had happened, but
No.
it was a bit unclear. So you think he had like a brain tumor or something?
Yeah,
and-
or obviously suffered a heart attack or had some kind of medical episode and died in the shower. Like that was that's what I interpreted anyway.
Mm.
But there was this one short little sort of sentence. It's almost like one of the crew talking to another member going, oh, we thought that the cancer had gone, but it's, he came back or whatever. So that was just an extra bit that I picked up there.
Mm.
Okay. So one thing I also read in a review by Velvet was that grief horror is a well-worn trope by Australian films. So we have films like Lake Mungo and The Babadook.
Mm. Yeah.
But, I mean, she also said that this one felt fresh. So she wasn't sort of saying, because it is, sort of another story about the lengths people go to avoid grief, but that this one felt fresh. But yeah, I sort of thought that's pretty true, because I think I'm in a minority where The Babadook didn't really land for me.
Mm.
I was just a bit like, okay.
Mm. Mm.
Moving on. So I thought that was interesting too, that there's a bit of Australian, sort of angle on doing grief horror. Maybe grief horror is a thing.
Grief horror.
Well, I mean,
being
Talk to Me
a
is a grief horror film as well, isn't it? So.
Yeah. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, and look, I think it was interesting. Also, I know we talked last time around just about perception and different ways people view things, and being in someone else's shoes, and just around how Andy acts as Piper's eyes.
Yeah.
And I noticed this time around, there's where he leaves her that very heartfelt voicemail towards the end. He actually apologizes for that. Apologizes for kind of not showing her, I guess, how the world really was, which I thought was an interesting thing. I hadn't picked that up previously. Like, obviously, we knew he was doing that. Oh, yes, this person's smiling at you. No, they think you're cool, whatever that might be.
Mm.
Even saying, "Oh no, Dad looks nice," or that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I noticed that this time around that he actually did apologize for that, which I thought was just an interesting thing, I suppose. An element of grief for him, I guess, too, realizing that he can't shield his sister from the bad things in the world forever.
Yeah, that poor kid, he copped it from all sides, honestly.
Mm. Mm.
I spent the whole film going, what about the children?
Because you knew that
God's
Andy wasn't
sake.
going to make it. And, you were just like, just run away now, Andy.
I know. And then he just dies in a bloody puddle, and I just thought, oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's very,
so sad. That was just the whole thing with him was so sad, honestly.
Was it necessary?
No.
Yeah. And you were saying, that's the thing, yes, his story arc is incredibly sad. And Mark was saying earlier when he first watched it, it was like, he felt that it was like a bummer of a movie with a bummer of an ending, kind of. But in a way, it has some light moments too. Connor gets away.
Piper
gets away. And Laura
Dies.
dies. Maybe not, she doesn't actually get any penance for her crimes.
But Laura probably finds peace.
Yeah.
Which she doesn't. Do I know? Does
And
she
I guess
deserve
she,
it? Does
I guess she
deserve it?
also found acceptance as well, because when she's, it's not going to happen,
Yes.
and she kind of goes, okay, well, this is where we're at, and I've done
Yes.
some crazy shit. And,
Yeah, it's a shame that there had to be so much collateral damage for her to get to that. But there you go.
yes. Yeah, so I guess sort of after this second watch and after reading some reviews and other ideas about the film, has anything changed in your rating of the film? Like, what did we rate it out of?
We rated it Kitchen Knives.
Oh, it might have been Kitchen Knives.
Ah, yes.
I think.
Yeah, I think it was Kitchen Knives.
Bloody knives. Bloody kitchen knives. We should have done it as grapefruits. I like that. Do you want to change it?
Easier to draw.
You can do a knife in a grapefruit.
No.
Or a segment of grapefruit on a knife.
We have to settle on something. Let's do a grapefruits this time, maybe. Oh, we can keep it. We have to.
I'm happy either way.
Yeah, we can do a grapefruit. What about you, Adam? You scored it very highly last time.
Yes, I did. Probably the highest score that we've given a movie for the podcast so far. I gave it a 9 grapefruits last time. And, this time around, it was, when we saw it, it was a Wednesday night. I didn't really feel like going out. Unusually, we were able to see it again at the movies for free because we had passes for it, which is unusual.
So thank you very much to the Fitzroy Mystery Rooms.
Yes, Fitzroy Mystery Rooms. Shout out to them. Thank you very much. So, even though I had to drag myself out to the movies in the middle of the week being an old man and it was a rainy night, I didn't really want to do it. Once I was in the cinema and I was watching it, I was okay. I was like, I'm in again. I really like this movie. I think it's one that'll be, thought about and talked about and enjoyed for a while. And for some reason, it just really sort of clicked with me. The whole story, the writing's great, the acting's great, the cinematography and all the technical aspects are great. I'm going to stick with my 9 grapefruits.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
What about you, Mark?
I didn't have to struggle to get to the cinema. Actually, probably did. It was the second part of a double feature I was doing, and I was also probably feeling old manish. But that being said, I reckon I enjoyed it more. I actually reckon I enjoyed it more. I think there is more to The Onion. And I think it's a film that deserves more viewings because the boys have put a fair bit into the film.
Yeah.
And I think, as you alluded to, there's some visceral points that can threaten to steal your focus.
Yeah.
And you might just miss what happens underneath. Almost like some comedy shows where you're laughing at this joke and you miss the next joke because you're still laughing. So it's the same kind of thing. So I think being able to revisit was really interesting. So I think I'm going to push mine up to 7 grapefruits. I'm going to push mine up to 7 grapefruits. So next time around, I'll be really interested to see if it holds it. I'll be interested to see if there's another layer in there, if there's something else to see. Look, I feel I've scanned it quite a lot, but there was a pretty obvious plot point, as I just pointed out, that I hadn't picked up on. So there might be more to be seen. Like even with the cat. Was the cat's name Junkman or something?
Junkman, yeah.
I think first time around I was like, what happened to the cat?
What else has the cat done? What other movies is the cat?
But the cat ends up without a tail.
Well, maybe it was a Manx cat. Or did he bite the cat? Did he bite the tail?
No, Ollie took the tail. There you go. Something for you to watch next time. So the second time he's got the cat in the pool, if you watch...
Oh, I kept looking away when he had the cat in the
pool.
pool.
But if you watch, Adam, and if you watch, you'll see there's blood starts dripping into the pool. And then later you see the cat doesn't have a tail.
Well, okay, yes, well, I'll look for that. And I didn't say what else I'll be looking for.
That's that. Adam's like, next time around, I'll look for the cat violence.
No, well, I didn't say what else I was going to look for. I don't really know what else I'll look for. I guess I'm going to try to watch a couple of the movies that they said were influences for this one, like Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. They cited as a big influence for this one.
Really?
Yeah. So I guess I'll give that a look. And I'll just try to come up with some recommends. Grief horror. I guess I'm going to try to go down a bit of a grief horror tunnel.
Well, it makes sense to go down the grief horror path. So there are plenty of films, I guess, that have that as a central theme, isn't there?
Absolutely. And often with children involved too.
Yeah, you're already writing down Don't Look Now, aren't you?
No.
Oh, that's a good one.
No,
that's
but
a good
that is
grief horror.
a bloody excellent film.
You were going to write, what title?
I was actually...
Spoilers are plenty. What were you going to...
This is spoilers for the next episode where I was going to do my recommends. Right. But Julia by Peter Straub.
The Haunting of Julia.
The Haunting of Julia.
Keep your powder dry.
I think you just give him an oddball one and just say, and don't forget The Goonies. And
Oh.
I'll be like, what's grief about the Goonies? Wait, think.
Yeah, wait.
Think about it.
I do like an out-of-the-box recommend. I won't lie.
You always do. You end up with things like Jurassic Park and stuff.
Yes.
What about you, Tracy? Where are you sitting with grapefruits? And what are you looking for on the third viewing?
Yeah, well, with my grapefruits, they did change with this viewing, it has to say. Like I sort of said before, I think initially on first viewing, it is really a harrowing film. And like I said, it really played on areas that really upset me, like trigger points for me, like cruelty and gaslighting and things like that. And I think that influenced my first rating because I was just, and the cat violence, not up for that. So I think I was just like, oh, no. But it's a quality film and I think it evokes a visceral reaction, but also a cerebral one. So Talk to Me shocked me more, although an essay on grief, it was more of like a teen film.
It was more of a party movie.
More of a party film, and this one's different to that. And I think that also kind of jarred for me. I'm like, hang on, I thought we were having a party film and da-da-da. But so this time I'm giving it 8 out of 10
Ooh,
grapefruits.
just gone up 2.
It's really
Two
good. It's very much for horror enthusiasts because of its graphic nature. But yeah.
Yeah, but I would also say it's worth watching for people who say they don't like horror. Because I feel like people who say that picture slashers.
Yeah, I know. But I think a few of our friends who don't like horror, if they
Would
saw the
be-
knife scene,
Yeah, they'd be shook.
we'd be in big trouble for
Yeah,
telling
it's
them
true.
to go watch it.
It is true, yes.
Yes. So, yeah. So I think that's where I'm at. And for the next viewing, I think it will just be, I think watching it in that more relaxed way. Like the second time I've watched it, I was sort of sitting back in my chair more and just sort of letting my eyes cast around and sort of looking at the different elements. And I think I'll just continue to do that to see again if there are more layers happening.
What I'm going to challenge you guys with as well. So I think we talked about last time that Talk to Me and Bring Her Back were basically written at the same time.
Yeah.
And were written from very similar, from the same event that had happened in the Brothers Live.
They say that it's even kind of a shared universe. Yeah.
So I want you, if you don't get a chance to watch the film, I might try and watch the film again before we watch this one again. But
Talk to me, Mim.
yeah.
Yeah.
But let's have a bit of a chat next time round about which film you think is the better film
Between those two.
between those two, because they're both grief horrors. They're both by the brothers. Let's maybe
Grief off.
have a grief off.
Mm.
But let's talk about.
I laugh maniacally.
Well, maybe have a little bit. Just have a chat about whether we think they're both good films, but which
Yeah.
one would, if you were forced at gunpoint or knife point
Just
to the
surrender
mouth,
one.
you had to pick one, which would it be?
Oh,
So,
God.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, so
Will do.
yes. But on that point, otherwise, I think I'll just do a little bit of a wrap up here, guys.
Yeah.
If you do like what you're hearing from us, and if you're listening to episode 2, I'm assuming you like it at least a little, then please make sure to subscribe to your favourite podcatcher to catch up on all our episodes as they come out. Please also make sure to comment if you can. Reviews and ratings help other people find us, which is very helpful. Please also follow us over on the Facebook under Sinister Siblings, so you can find out about the latest news for the pod, as well as other activities that we get up to as the Sinister Siblings. But the main thing would be, of course, share it if you can.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's the number one thing. We're enjoying having these chats with you, and if you enjoy, please feel free also to comment on any of the episodes, anything that you agree with or disagree with. We're more than happy to take some feedback and have a chat about that as well.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
Yeah, reach
But
out to
otherwise,
us.
it's time for us to get back into the pool.
Mm.
So we will speak to you later.
Yes.
And don't forget, mimic the death, consume the old body, and purge the soul into the new body. On that note,
Good night.
good night.